ruby red lips, pearly white smile. Heading into the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics at age 26, she is 10 years older than the reigning U.S. national champion, Karen Chen. Her comparatively advanced age shows in the maturity, artistry, and elegance of her skating. She can skate to a love story like a woman who has experienced real love, not an aerodynamic teenager with a mother still applying her hair gel. As the music intensifies, Wagner follows suit. She nicks the tip of her skate blade into the ice and rockets into a triple loop. She tilts her ankles inwards, her frame decomposing into a bent-leg layover camel spin, arms extended above her head. 6 triple jumps later, she skates off the ice. A slight parting of the lips and a barely perceptible quickening in the rise and fall of her chest are the only indications of the fatigue that comes from mercilessly throwing her body around on the ice for 4 minutes. She skates off of the ice and rests on the bench while waiting for her score. It's a 122.37, a free skate victory that puts her at 3rd place. She finishes ahead of the rest of the U.S. competitors, including Chen. Wagner has become a staple of U.S. women's figure skating. Everyone's used to seeing her on podiums, though they're increasingly surprised to be doing so. Longevity is rare in this sport, Wagner admits. Sometimes I feel like I'm the locker room mom. Wagner knows she's past her prime, in figure skating terms anyway. The ideal age range for most skaters is from 15 to 18. According to Wagner, even 20 is a stretch. Yet Wagner is undeterred by such norms. She was 22 when she competed in her first Olympics, so she's accustomed to being an outlier. Skating caters to a very young body type, Wagner admitted. Every single day we are pounding our joints and our bodies into the ice. In heavy training season, there is not a day where I wake up and I'm bushy-tailed and ready to go. You don't get a sense of total recovery. But I think, as an elite athlete, that's the feeling you get hooked on. To wake up and to have your muscles be stiff and sore and have to go in and start all over again. It's that grind that I think a lot of elite athletes obsess over. Wagner has been obsessing for over 2 decades, and it's taken her to 3 different Winter Olympics. By Pyeongchang in 2018, she will be the oldest U.S. female figure skating athlete since 1924. And I'm really proud of that, Wagner said. And it's because I'm so freaking stubborn. I think that if anyone tells you that they've been that hungry every single day of their career, they're not being honest. Wagner said, "You have days where you don't want to train. I mean, I've been skating for 22 years. This absolutely gets old. But it's one of those things where I set a goal when I was 6, 7 years old, and I owe it to that little girl to see this through." At 6 years old, Ashley's mother gave her an ultimatum to choose between ballet and figure skating. Wagner chose figure skating as she wasn't going to do anything in pink shoes. "I grew up a total tomboy. I was not in this for the spandex and the sparkles," Wagner said. "What really attracted me to the sport was the speed and the feeling of the flow on the ice. It's like you're flying." Wagner was born in Heidelberg, Germany, where her father was stationed as a lieutenant colonel at the U.S. Army base there. The toughness she absorbed growing up as an Army child deserves at least partial credit for her skating resilience. "My dad was tough as nails, but you know what? He made me tough as nails," Wagner said. "If anything ever went wrong, or if I had a bad day, I was never allowed to feel sorry for myself. My dad would just tell me to not be a wimp. That might not sound like the nicest parental approach, but that's what most kids need to hear these days." She and her younger brother Austin moved around for most of her childhood. Home was many different places growing up, including Germany, California, Alaska, Kansas, Washington State, and Virginia. Despite frequent relocation and a busy professional figure skating career, Wagner's mother, an ex-school teacher, always made public education a priority.